Today we are going to do a video about a story. So we're gonna pretend this is a true story. So once upon a time, there's a mountain lion that's white, and that mountain lion loved to eat people a lot. And one time he found fish. And it was very hot. And then threw it away. And then he found the shoe. And she found the shoe. And then suddenly she found the shoe and put it on her feet. And she went fast. And she accidentally rolled somewhere else because it's too slippery. And she bumped into something. Ooh, ouch. Her head was very hurt. And I was really hurt. But she kept walking until she found a quiet place for her. Because she was very, very hot. So she sat down. And she was happy. But the bad thing is it was still very, very hot. And then she was very hungry. So she went to this. So she went somewhere to hunt for food. And then she hasn't found anything yet, but she was happy. She was living. And after that, she found some eggs over there. Just don't know what they're doing. So she asked them, "Can I have some food?" So she came up to them and said, "Can I have some food?" And then they did not answer. And then she said, "I was very hungry. Please give me food." And she carried all of them. And then one of them hit her and just left. The eggy was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then this little eggy just cried and just left in tears that anybody didn't like him. Even the store owner hidden from this poor little guy. She was very hungry and melting. She was melting and very hungry. And then one time she was very hot that she found a little portal that led to this island called Eggy Island. So when the little eggy landed, she turned into an eggy and tried to find some food. But instead she found a little capybara that was doing stuff. And then the little guy just followed the little cappy and suddenly found all of carts. She was hiding in the bush, really scared of this island. And she arrived at the island. And she rode the car. When she rode the car, she was happy. But she accidentally bumped into somebody and she crashed too. She was very sad. And one time she found an abandoned little sheep called flying Dondong. It was growing flowers, but it kept disappearing. So she helped with Dondong, and the Dondong gave her some 4 flower seeds. So she found a little place to grow her little strawberries and grow all of it. But instead she kept one of it. And she went to the shade and relaxed. After that, her strawberry growed, and then her car did not work. So she had to push her car somewhere else. But one time, she found a little jackpot. I was very excited what's in there. So she picked it up, and then boom, his strawberry just went. And then she ate these strawberries, and suddenly, nom. And suddenly turned into a bunny. After when she turned into a bunny, she kept jumping like a bunny. And after that, saw a big dragon. But somebody was calling her to play with her, but she said no. So she kept walking, did not know what that person is. So she was still happy. And then suddenly saw an eggy over there and then jumped towards that eggy. Since she was a little bunny, she can't really jump that far, but she was still a baby. And she suddenly landed on here and then drove her, and then she went to the back of the seat and then let her drive her. And then she accidentally fell off the edge. Ah! Holy moly! Ah! And suddenly, she landed in this island called Moonbase. When the little bunny was there, she was really scared. But instead, something was glitching in her screen, and then when she was glitching, she turned into a little sandwich. She kept turning into stuff and saw a dinosaur. She was really concerned that the dinosaur would eat her, so she ran away as fast as she could. She ran as fast as she could and saw a squid. She didn't know what the squid is, so she picked it up and threw it at that dino. And then never see that dino ever again. And then saw that shoe again and then ran as fast as she could. And suddenly ran up a little hill and she doesn't know what this is. So she jumped on it and ran. Ah! And bumped into something and she landed on it. But she saw a big hole here, but she did not use it. Instead, she jumped down. And she was very scared of heights, so she fell on her knees. Now she can't walk. And then, if she cannot walk anymore, she found a box thing. And was concerned, what's that box thing? Maybe that box thing could maybe help her walk again, cause her other foot can't even move. So she's sliding her feet on the ground now. And then after that, she built a little wall here so no one could distract her, but her foot still hurts very much. But she worked very hard on building. She must have shelter, or else she'll starve in hunger. But she's a sandwich. She can't eat herself. So she threw that smoke bomb, and she doesn't know what it is, so she got in and it and turned into a dino. She was very hot and tried to find little animals. But instead she saw a big bomb thing again. She didn't want to pick it up this time and then ignored it and then went back to her little secret base. But when she turned into a dino, her foot just recovered like nothing happened. So she built a little mini house. But her blocks were disappearing, so she was really sad. But this person keeps telling her to play with her, but we don't know who she is. And suddenly, she saw this little thing, and then jumped on it. Whee! And suddenly landed on this island called Eggy Island. And then when she landed on Eggy Island again, this time she doesn't know where she is and then accidentally turned into an eggy. And she was very, very confused why. She didn't know what these little eggs are, so she tried to crack herself open, but she can't. Instead, she accidentally just bumped into a big dragon. That dragon was very angry, so the dragon tried to dance, but instead she ran away as fast as she could. But instead she saw another thing. She didn't know what it is again. But instead she pulled that person away and holded that person and threw that person in there. Like brah. Push him in. She saw a beach ball. After when she saw a beach ball, she tried to pick it up. But no, she can't pick it up.
Let's go.
And then suddenly, holy, what's this little thing over here? And then this person keeps trying to think. And then suddenly she joined in. The room was full.
But
Suddenly, this little dragon thing over there. She checked the little dragon. bumped the dragon, but she didn't know what it is. So she jumped on her belly and just ran away. But this little eggy just carried her and then just ran away. But she threw this little jackpot away because she didn't know what it is and accidentally bumped into this person. She's a little egg now. And then she bumped into a dragon because she's very clumsy. She doesn't know what everything is in here. And then one time the little dragon saw an abandoned home over there. Ouch. And then that dragon saw big, and then the eggy saw big over chocolate dragon, so she ran away again. And then remember this place when she was a little eggy. She said, but she cried, "Why am I here? I want to turn back into my cat. I don't want to turn into an eggy." But instead she's laid down and slept. But after slept for 1 hour, she saw an abandoned home. But it was not abandoned. It's still clothes in there. So she checked all these clothes out and she was happy. So 10 years later, she keeps living in here, but she didn't know what's inside this closet. So today she tried to open a closet. So she opened the closet, saw a bunch of clothes, and then she ignored it again. So she looked at the mirror and said to the mirror, "Maybe I should wear these ones clothes and maybe have a little adventure since I never So instead she played some video games and then kept thinking about this little closet thing, just hitting the closet as hard as she could. And suddenly bumped into her bed and she jumped on her bed and it fell on the ground. She was very dizzy of that, so she fell on the ground. But luckily she was still alive. And then 5 years later she was sleeping. Suddenly she kept thinking about it. She has a really bad headache, so she had to open it. But instead she got a perfect idea. Maybe we should go hunting for some stuff. Yeah. So she went inside the closet, go to the closet, saw a bunch of cool clothes. When she wore one of them, she was happy. So she wore one of these ones and then wore all of it. And then she even brought a little backpack with her. And she was very happy, so she looked at the mirror and said, "Maybe I did. I look like a jellyfish now." And then after that, a little eggy just went to her house. And then after that, he said hi. She said hi. She's like, "What are you doing here?" And she kicked her out of her house. She just kicked her out of her house because this is her house. And went back into her house and grabbed some stuff. And then little Tonton just appeared here. And then she even saw inside the closet there's little Tonton statues, little Tonton signs, so she kept it with her and kept moving and kept moving. And remembered that dragon. She tried to find food, but instead she didn't. She found a candy island. "Holy moly," she said. And she went inside of it. And then when she stepped one little close inch into it, she turned into a rich heiress. When she turned into a rich heiress, she got taste. And she was very rich. She has 1,000 money, and then she even went inside the mall. She went inside the mall and then also went inside the mall and checked some stuff. This was so cool.
"Do you like our exhibition?"
What she said.
Stars and adventure.
And a bunch of clothes. A bunch of new stuff. She was very, very happy. She was so happy that she even that she even like attempt somebody to a little friend.
Hate fades eventually. Where will the spirit in the painting go?
Yes, where
What's
would the
that?
spirit and painting go? Cause she didn't know what to do. Suddenly she
Do you
went
like our
to a little
exhibitions?
soccer field, and then maybe she wanted to learn a sport. When she came in, one step, again, someone just called her over. And suddenly said, "Who's calling me even? Who's calling me? I'm still wondering." And then that person called her again. And then that person called her again. And suddenly she saw something very weird. Weird thing was, where was this place? And then she saw her little ticket thing. She had an eggy ticket. That means she's officially an eggy. She was so happy that she was dancing and changed. And then her name is Cool. After that, she went inside the soccer field, and then suddenly she changed, and suddenly she stepped in and then accidentally changed into sports clothes. After, when she wore sports clothes, she was very, very happy. So she went inside and just played soccer for 1 hour. After, when she was playing soccer for 1 hour, she was kind of tired.
Let's go.
And she cried, maybe we should take a nap. So she took a nap, and then when she stepped out, she doesn't have clothes anymore again. And again, she said a little dong again. And then she threw the jackpot, that dragon, and then that dragon was super angry that the dragon chased her. And suddenly the little eggy hidden, and then the dragon was still there. She sat down and said, why? But I'm officially an eggy island, so I better keep it to myself. But suddenly she saw her ticket, and her ticket was very awesome. I mean, who wants a ticket with so many people in it? And then suddenly she was very, very surprised because somebody is fighting with her. When someone's fighting with her, she was like, what am I doing here? And then after that, she was very, very unconscious. What was this? So she took a bomb. Then she was very scared that she literally she threw that bomb at her and just fought. She was fighting that person a lot. Bunch, and she threw her back on her, but she missed. So for 1 hour, she kept getting better. She got 100 point now. Look at her, just cruising, just knock her out. It was very hot, but she did not even get up and keep up for 1 sec. So she blew up her again and bumped her. She was happy she was good at this. So she did it for a couple of hours, and suddenly she was standing there, didn't know she did. So she just blocked herself again. It was very, very hot, but instead she just took a break, and she took a break too. She took a break at this little edge that no one could destroy her, and then was she an NPC? She was like, after that, for 1 hour, she was dancing. When she was dancing, she took a bomb and then charged down, going like, and pushed her down. But suddenly, she fell. Yes, she left the game. And then she was very tired anyways, so she just left. So just left, and then she was very good at this now. He was very happy too for finding her, but then she was sad because now I'm better than her now. And then now, from now on, I'm in the eggy party. And then, and suddenly, for 1,000 days later, she was swarming with clothes, and a bunch of stuff, even little onesies. Holy. Today she was going to a little parkour place, so she wear this little candy outfit, and I went there. She was very happy, but she colored her skin into light pink, and then she went, and she was very happy, and nothing changed better. So she drank a little soda pop, but instead she accidentally just popped that soda pop open and just accidentally just flying all over the place. She was very cool and happy at the same time. After that, she tried to parkour out. Yeah. Oh gosh. It kept pushing her out, but she kept trying and trying. Never give up. She was doing it really good. Suddenly she slipped, and then she was very hurt.
Hurry!
And after that, someone saw her, and she was very sad. After that, she slowly, and for 1 hour later, ouch, she bumped into somebody again, and she was very hurt. So she kept walking home and said, I broke my leg, I think. Can somebody take me to the hospital? And she kept walking, and for 10 hours later, she finally landed back home safely.
Check out my antenna!
And I went to a closet and took off her clothes. And changed into something else. She wore this little hat, and then she wore this little clothes. And then when she was done back to the hospital, she was sent to a little school. This school is really friendly. Little students, a bunch of students. After that, she went into the school, and she saw the school bus, and then the school bus was about to leave, so she also rode on it. And then the school bus was really happy too to see the new student, because I was the new student, cool student. And then for 1 hour when we were driving, the car slowed down and stopped. So this little guy had to walk back home. Had to walk to school. But when she walked back to school, she was lost. And suddenly,
A for all, O for A!
and suddenly, someone pulled her aside, and she went to this creepy world called the spooky forest. And she kept running away from it, but she can't run away from it. It was like a ghost thing. She was very dizzy why, but instead, she got pushed away again. Ah! And then keep hitting the monster, but she doesn't know where the monster is because it's a ghost. I kept pulling her away, but I keep pulling this way and that way. But she hold on to the yo-yo, and when she didn't know what to do, and she hold on to the yo-yo, and then went to the spooky forest. The spooky circus, spooky circus. And the idol, yeah. And then, she went to here. So she was very concerned, but luckily she's strong and she could carry other people. But instead, she brought her little she brought her little mannequin thing, and she didn't know what to do. When she was here, she ran out the bushes and saw, holy moly of cows, what is this place? She walked around and suddenly saw a monster and ran away. After when she was done running away, she was super tired and she kept walking and walking until she saw another monster. She was like, no! And ran as fast as she could. She ran. She was like, run! And then she saw a locker and then hit into the locker and hide. When the little clown was out, she tried to save her. Yes. Holy! And she was so surprised. No! She was like, she was hiding. And then suddenly, the monster picked that little eggy up. And then, but the monster just, oh gosh. So the little guy kept running, but she cannot go running. So she went faster and faster. And then ran away from that area. And then she saw a popcorn machine. Maybe the popcorn machine could help me get out of here. But instead, the popcorn machine is broken right now. So instead, right now, little Eggy saw something else that blew her mind up. 4 players and then 1 monsters are here. Holy moly of cows! She was like, why was she here even? Holy. She was like, after that, she saw the monster again and ran! No! She was like, no! She got hit too. And then she even healed herself up. She even healed herself out. Good thing she was prepared for school, but she prepared some study stuff and maybe some band-aids cause she got hit by monsters. So she kept walking and saw this big tube thing, but she was being watched. She saw this little butterfly on her, so she was happy. So the butterfly made her run very fast, and suddenly saw the popcorn machine again. And she was like, no, that popcorn machine, dangerous, very dangerous, no. She was like, but instead, she ran with that person. And I tried to help that person, but she was been taken away. I'm like, no. And I healed herself up. She was also my schoolmate. So I was very happy to see her. So I followed her. She was very rich, so I followed her, but instead she got hit again. She just didn't know what, even the monster didn't even hit me and her. Like brah. And she kept running. And suddenly saw a butterfly on her again, and then a butterfly told her that run away fast as she could. But instead it ran away already. That butterfly was a little warning. After that she followed her friend back. She followed her friend, but her friend just got knocked out. But I healed herself back on again, and she was happy. So I quickly healed her up and then ran. No, I'm like, the monster didn't even catch me though. And then she saw this little dig thing and she kept digging it. Her alarm was still on though, like still on. And suddenly the monster was back. She didn't know what to do, so she hit down here. And no, she's been hit. When she was being hit, she didn't know what to do instead of crying. She'd never know what to do ever. So she just stayed there. quietly and tried to get out of his hand, but it was too late already. She got put into the popcorn machine and been waiting. Was waiting and waiting. My friends came to save me, but one of my schoolmates just saved me. These were all my schoolmates, but they're getting knocked out by them. I was gonna knock out the most though. I try to hide, but I'm hiding in like a candle place, so I hid there. I'm like, no! I'm like, quickly, heal me up. After that, me and her ran as fast as I could. And then I used my men, and then I bandaged my hand up, and then my foot up. And then when I was done, the gates were open. Yay! So we went to the gates, and we didn't know what to do, so we opened the gate up. But instead, we ran to the gate. I was about to like save my schoolmates, but I'm thinking about I don't even know them, but they are my schoolmates, so I better leave first. So after that, I left and left. I ran so much. The crates, I even saw a little crate there. She didn't know what that crate is, so she left that alone. Her schoolmates wasn't KO'd, but instead she just ignored and then just kept walking in sadness. When sadness came out of her tears, she was like, brah, why am I even in here? Brah, so brah. She was so happy that she was left, that she accidentally fell on the ground and tried to move again, but she was too clumsy to move. She was waiting here so long, and then she was wondering about like, when am I going to do my homework? My teacher's gonna scold me again. So I just went there again, and then 1 hour later, I finished school. And then for 10 years later, I turned into a full eggy. Now I'm a grown-up eggy. I know what to do now, since now I'm exactly full little eggy. I'm never alone. I have my own clothes. I'm a grown-up now. So one day I went back home, and went inside of my closet, and then I have more clothes than usual.
Hey, get
She
serious.
saw a little onesie of a little so cute, so she didn't wear it. One time her friends invited her to a birthday party, but she was sick. No, not she is sick. No, the birthday kid is sick, so I have to chill at home. One time I wore my little suit, my little sock, and went to my little garden and flowered my little garden. So she put some flowers inside the garden, and saw a big tornado.
Check out my antenna.
And it left very fastly, but she didn't know what it is, but she just kept growing it. And suddenly a bunch of eggs just came in. Even a lot of them came in. So after that, she wore some, and after that, she went to bed because it was nighttime. After the next day, her strawberries grown, and then she sold her strawberries and made money because today at nighttime she had a little concert, so she must get some clothes. And she got some strawberries and gave it to people. She gave it to all sorts of people, like homeless people, rich people, and maybe some other people. She maybe gives some to other people that didn't have food. So she gave it to a little kid over there. And after that, she made tons of money, and then went back home.
Check out my my
And
antenna.
then she got a new clothes. She was very obsessed of her clothes, so she zoomed her clothes. She wore her clothes and she looked beautiful, but she didn't know where it is. Yes, she found it. She was very happy. She was the happiest ever. Very happy. And after that, she went to her concert. And after that, she went to her expensive concert. Now she's rich. And she could do whatever she
Egg for all,
wants
O
there.
for A.
Even make money.
Cha-ching.
And then now she's there. And now she's dancing. Have a fun day at the park. Maybe have a good day at the park. Maybe have a good time.